7 o'clock, with the call of the meeting, the Richmond Board of Steward, we'll start with the pledge. To the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Sure. Vernon Coleman.
Here.
Ellen Waterstrat here. Christopher
Here.
Cindy Green.
Here.
David Ballman here.
Thank you. Next item we have tonight is the presentation of the agenda. Is there anything anybody would like to add to the agenda tonight? Hearing none, the agenda will stand as presented. Next item we have will be public comment on agenda items only at this time. Hearing none, the next item will be the approval of minutes from the February 14th, 2024 regular board meeting. Has everybody had an opportunity to review your minutes?
Yes.
Okay, I get a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the minutes. My support.
All fair say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next item we have is the consent agenda. We have the building department report, EMS report, office manager report, and planning commission report. Is there anything anybody would like to remove from the consent agenda tonight? Hearing none, can I get a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented?
Make that motion.
Support.
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you. Next item we have financial reports. Should have both in your packet tonight. Anybody have any questions? Yeah, regarding the bills this month?
All set, guys? I'm all set.
Anybody else have? Oh, fantastic. If there's no question for Kathy, can I get a motion to approve and pay bills as presented? So moved. Support?
Or.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next item we have tonight is the treasurer's report.
In the general fund, fire fund, there's $1,365,248.50. In the tax disbursement account at the time of we took these off, there was $742,656.07. The recreation funds are at $435,079.80. The investment accounts are at $244,156.23. Available funds at North Star, $7,793.37. PDR account has $28,778.31, and the other accounts have $35,695.05. The Tom has written out quite a few checks from the tax disbursement, so I'm certain that the balance is not quite $742,000 now. And the Mission Schools Government Credit Union, the statement was on my desk today when I came in, and it was not even made any interest, so it's the same amount.
Excellent. Any questions for Treasurer tonight? Hearing none, the Treasurer's report will stand as presented. Thank you. Next item we have tonight, farming and preservation. Sir?
Yes, as you all know, we had a closing of personal property. That seemed to go pretty well. We went to Lansing for their distributing of the grant money for this year. We did not receive any grant money this year. I think there were 16 applications, and they could only fill 8 of those. And ours was not in the top 8, so we did not get any there. And we do have our regular meeting next Wednesday at Ray Township.
Any questions for Vernon and Furman? Hearing none, we'll move on to the building report. Thank you. All right, building, Jeff.
Really, I don't think anything's necessary reporting on right now. We're hoping we don't have to start cutting grass too soon, but it's better than snow. So I think all's well.
Anybody have any questions for Jeff regarding building operations? Well, thank you so much. Next item we have is the assessor's report. Is there anything anybody would like me to take back to Christine?
Hopefully, the board review's all done.
It was today and it's tomorrow. Tomorrow, 3 to 9.
Going pretty good.
It's going good. We saw 2 people today and they were real thorough, taking care of them. And tomorrow we have 4 people scheduled.
Not too many.
I thought there would be more.
Yeah.
Brings you a little bit more sometimes. If nothing for assessor's report, I'll move down to library report. Lynn?
So, the library has a puzzle sale. They had a record number of puzzles this year, on the 23rd. And I didn't know this until I was reading this though, but, wait a minute, March 25th, they have supplies that are going to start on March 25th for the solar eclipse. I heard that. Big deal, right, on April 8th. So they're even having a class, like a children's program on April 1st at 3:30. And then they get little kits, they're gonna make stuff so they can see the solar eclipse, which I thought that was really cool. And then on that night as well, on April, what did I say, the 8th? Yeah. That they're gonna have people, up to 40 people come and have refreshments and make this big to do, yeah. So, and starting on April the 1st through the 26th of April, they're collecting canned goods for cleaners for a campaign. Their campaign is Food for Thought campaign. So they'll be collecting them all through the month.
Excellent.
And still, they have their tax forms available there. And you can still call it tax available there.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Any questions for Elaine or anything that needs to go back to the library? Okay. Thank you so much. Next item we have will be the recreation report.
We are going to have our 2nd annual Easter egg hunt, which is kind of fun. That we've done this one time before. It turned out well last year. It's going to be this Saturday. It will start at noon. We opted to start it a little bit later because the grass was quite dewy and everyone was getting pretty wet. So we thought we'd start a little bit later, and once they come in here and get their pictures with the bunny and get their Easter eggs that they find in their goodie bags, they're pretty quick. I think we had 130 kids last year, and I think they were in and out of here in about an hour and a half. So that is going to be this Saturday, starting at noon again. The kite flying event is the next big event that we will be having. It's going to be either the 14th or the 21st. Again, Judy Murphy is in charge of that. She is already working on getting sponsors for it. What people? No, September.
Oh, sorry. You just said 14th or the 21st. And I thought it must be April.
I'm sorry. Yep, no, September 14th. So it's a ways away. We don't really have a big event in the summer. We do that, and then we do the Halloween and Christmas thing. So,
I remember that last year. It was really good.
It was a lot of fun. And Anita, God bless her, said to me the other day, what would be great is if you could put a link to the video from that on our website, and maybe I could post it on the Facebook page or something. It would be great. So she's wonderful. So that's really all I have for recreation right now.
Any questions for Susan? Excellent. Thank you so much. Next up would be the NEMC report.
I don't have anything new to report from the NAMC meeting because I was not there this past meeting. But I was looking at the minutes from the meeting. I didn't see something that was jumping out to me that I needed to discuss.
Okay. Certainly keep us posted and you know, let us know. Any questions for Elaine to take back for NEMC? Okay. Thank you so much. Moving down, next item, unfinished business. First item we have under there is the bridge funding update. We received an email last week from the county. It's not this email, but there's a handful of bridges in the county that they're removing from the cost share agreement, one of which is 34 mile road, so we will not be having to put any money in for that particular bridge. The 32 mile bridge is still on the table. Just wanted the board to have some insight on that. We're going to be more than happy to that at this time. Any questions on that I should be looking into at this time? Okay.
They took 34 Mile off, but they're still gonna do it.
They're still gonna do it,
Yes.
We're just.
So is that this year?
In 25,
Yeah,
which was when it was slated to down to 25.
Oh, okay.
we were talking about it early, so if we had to.
Yeah.
Find that time to coordinate it, so. But it still will be done. Okay. If nothing else, we'll go down to voting update.
Yeah, I just told Lori, I said, we don't need a place on here every month, but this is the first month past the, I was thinking, we talked about it, but we were at a budget meeting. That's where we talked about it. Anyway, voting went off without a hitch. The early days was interesting. It's kind of gonna catch on, but we have about 170 between the two.
87 with the two of us.
Yeah. So that's
That's a
not,
lot.
that's not bad for the
We
first
we
time.
had 109, and we had 12,000 voters, so they had, how many voters do you have?
3,000, we have 3,000, and I think we have 20-something.
That's awesome.
I think they're more than that.
We had more than that.
I think they're like 60 something like that.
And it's just gonna take a while to catch on, but I think they're catching on up here.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Me too.
I was happy with it, and we didn't have real issues. It ran the same. We got out of here the same. The big election went well.
Good.
So, yeah, the burgers were happy.
One down to go this year, right?
One down to go, yeah.
Okay. Any questions?
70 for the whole day, all those days. 87 for all those days, but we had Memphis and us. That's where the total of the 80, 87 comes from. Yeah, we had 70 some. But that's the statistics all over Macomb County. It's new. It takes a while for things to catch on.
I think it will.
Because even the bigger communities, sure, they might have had a lot, but if you figure it out, it's probably anywhere between 8 to 12 to 13%, don't you think? Sydney? Was it yours? Yeah. Yeah. So it'll climb.
I think you see that, be bigger turnouts this fall, I'm sure. Maybe less on the main election day.
Well, you know, it didn't get a whole lot of news coverage until like a couple days before. Why? I have no idea. Maybe it was the trials that are going on and overshadowed it. So I'm assuming that the next two elections coming up.
How many did you have on election day?
On election day, we had 900,
It's around
So-
90.
like 4 something on each one,
Yeah.
which was a nice size turnout for a primary.
Yeah.
It was really nice, but there was no hiccups, no problems, no disgruntled people, so.
Good.
That's good. That's good.
That's a good way then.
Yeah.
Any other questions regarding voting? And Kathy, so we can take that off for future.
Yeah, I mean, that was just for, yeah, for the elections.
Perfect. All right, next item will be the week's property discussion. Vern and I have met with John Moore and
Gentlemen from the project is here.
yeah, can you give us an update? Sure. Where we're at, the last time we talked to them?
Yeah, so John Moore officially got the sanitary and sewer tie approved by the city board. Like you guys met with him as well.
Yeah.
Feel a little more comfortable about the plan.
Yeah, once they explained it, and I've kind of explained it, I think we all understand what's going on there.
Okay.
So it's perfect, I think.
Yeah, we're going to be in need for anything further on.
Yeah, I think it's set. We got the letter here today, and, you know, from our discussion with John Moore, I think everything is kind of, you know, in line.
Okay, so is the idea to get a proper township board approval today?
As far as
Well,
sidewalks.
as far as the sewer and water, like John Moore said, it's really none of our business because it's between two neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
And it has nothing to do with what we have with them is an urban limit agreement. And it really doesn't affect that at all. So, I mean, we can do an approval, but I don't know if it's really necessary.
And it says in their letter too about any future discussions of urban limits would be
Yeah.
between us and.
The other thing that you needed from us was to allow Weeds not to have to put the sidewalks in.
Correct.
That has to come, we can do that tonight, I think. The way it's set right up there to put sidewalks in on their property. But we don't think it's really necessary. It's really a sidewalk going nowhere. think, Ed, you kind of suggested that we at least put in there that in future things, they would have to come in and put them in, right?
Well, the board can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But what we've seen in the past, that either a deferment is allowed until there's a connector on one side or the other, or you give them a timeline and say 10 years, you have to build it. The township's not in the business of building sidewalks.
Yeah.
So if there's a connector in the future, it's totally up to the board how they would enforce that. You can have a deferment agreement or a ZBA waiver or board waiver, however you guys want to do it. The normal would be a deferment until a trigger, which is a next door sidewalk to.
That's how it's kind of addressed in our civil plans, is Weeks' stance is he does prefer the deferment, and that's how we mention it in a note in our civil plans.
Yeah.
So,
And I would be satisfied with the deferment, just so if something did come up in the future, they would then be required to put the sidewalk in at their cost.
How would we word that in our motion?
I can suggest a motion to defer installation of the public sidewalk until an adjacent sidewalk is constructed and available for connection, or as directed by the township board.
Did you get all that?
Lori, did you get all?
I might have missed
This
one.
one, John, voted back to him.
Read it
I
back.
know I missed one thing. Motion to defer installation of the public sidewalk. That little part right there I missed. Or as directed by the township board.
So now we'll go again.
It's weird, it's exactly what I have. And I missed
Really?
it. One
That one little thing, he speeded up just a little bit.
Installation, I think I said.
Of public
Said-
sidewalk
Installation.
installation.
Motion to defer installation of
Public
public
sidewalk.
sidewalk.
Until,
Installation or as directed by the township board.
until that connector is available, or adjacent property sidewalk is available, or as directed by the township board.
You've got your recorder, you can listen to that.
Yeah.
So,
And so the
She's in questions, I'm sorry. I'm ready questions about for something.
We're good.
who wants to make the motion? I'll make the motion.
What
She just.
what she wrote down about the sidewalk deferment.
Well, this is about the sidewalk.
Correct.
I make the motion.
I'll support.
All good, say
Aye.
Now, they give us this letter. Do you feel that we should act on it?
From the city?
Yeah. If you look under number 3, the 3 things, what they have to do, provide the city with the storm sewer easement, that's kind of the start of the whole thing. And they're going to provide them with the hookup and the fee. And the last one is what concerns, not what concerns us, but that's what brings us into it.
Which one are you talking, the number 3 break?
Number 3, any future discussion of the urban limits agreement will include Richmond Township is not part of this agreement. So basically, like John said, that's basically saying there's no annexation or anything going on there. And if that ever comes up, it goes back to, we have this urban limit agreement with them. And it falls to that, if that should ever come to be.
Yeah, so I think they're just reiterating what you
Yes,
said.
yeah,
There's no urban land modification or any discussion is included
Yeah.
as part of this approval.
yeah. So like I said, that the city told us, they didn't say that, but basically what it is, this agreement is between 2 neighbors, has nothing to do with us at this time. we have to?
Um,
I mean, we could, is there something we should put in the minutes, or
Is this enough, or do we need to do something further?
or do we enter this letter into the minutes or something?
I would only suggest that if Richmond Township agrees to the city of Richmond providing what they promised, if you're in an agreement. So I would say receive and file, you have no objection. Other than that, there's no written agreement.
No, there's nothing there, yeah. Okay.
So keeping this document here would suffice as that
He
agreement.
said receive and file the letter.
As part of our review, we will ask the applicant to provide this initially and put it on the plans. And if the township did not agree to this,
Okay.
I don't have your approval.
Yeah,
I
okay.
see. Okay. We'll make sure we're good to
So
go.
should that be in the form of a
Chris, you
motion?
should,
No.
no,
Receive and file, acknowledge the letter.
Yeah,
just
okay.
state that you received it.
Yeah.
Take that out loud.
Yeah, state it out loud, where you put it in the minutes.
Okay. And we have received a letter from the city of Richmond regarding the sanitary and storm sewer agreement with Leeds Food Corporation. Receiving this letter that states that any future discussion of urban limit agreement will include Richmond Township and is not part of this agreement. We have received it. We'll file it. Perfect. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Any further questions? Go ahead, gentlemen here.
One other update I will give is, the sale of the property is updated on GIS now, so that is updated, so we should be good there.
Any ETA on full engineering?
Probably early next week. So we've got an electrical engineer, they're finishing up things this week, and we'll probably see it probably early to mid next week, full submission.
Excellent.
Yep,
According to the building department?
absolutely.
Go for that.
Yep, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, next item we have is a GFL discussion. I have not received anything from GFL since we last spoke there. Sent our guys some messages and I haven't heard from them, so. I suspect anytime soon, even tonight I sent them a text message, hey, I got nothing back, so. As soon as I have something, I'll certainly keep the board posted as soon as possible.
When is our contract up?
It's expires the end of this year, the 31st. There's language in the contract about our prices being the same for additional 2 years. The contract is up at the end of this year. We have a little time, but I don't want to waste too much time either. So we'll definitely keep you posted. All right, moving on to new business. First item we have tonight is the approval of the Memphis Fire contract. You'll find it in your packet tonight. Is there a motion to discuss?
I'll make that motion.
Support? Okay, I know we had talked about it briefly at our budget meeting. Would there be any further discussion regarding the Memphis Fire contract tonight?
I was reading through the letter, I'm sure they will find out. I just wondered if we have any idea how many fires they attended for us in the last year.
I don't think it's in here, but I know Mr. Pratt would be happy to provide that information to the board if I have. Absolutely.
Okay.
Any other questions or discussion regarding the Memphis Fire contract? Hearing none, can you motion to approve as presented?
I would move that. Approve that presented.
Your support?
I'll support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, next item, we have the assessment administration services contract. They expire in May, so I just want to get this out to the board. Maybe a motion to discuss this.
I'll make that motion.
Your support?
I'll support.
All right. Has everybody Can I support?
Or,
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, next we have the approval of animal control best practices in Macomb County. This is just pretty much an update to an ordinance that we already have. With this update, our animal control officer, Mr. Randazzo, will be able to enforce state law as well as county law. And we just kind of went through and updated everything really good, and about animal welfare.
so we're
We
already,
have to adopt this as a ordinance. Isn't this an ordinance that we have to, and then it's gonna have to be published twice.
Okay, I don't know, is
So
it
it's-
updated existing or is it a new?
Well, there was also other townships that put in the word repeal on theirs, but I don't want to repeal anything, I want to keep it in addition to, and he even states in here, where's it at? I just seen the best practices as part of your animal ordinances. I mean, we don't have much on the ordinance, but I don't want to take out what we do have.
Right.
And
well,
they're updating theirs.
do we are, I don't understand this, so it says, send Richmond Township for new animal control best practice. So we have already been following this, or already part of it?
We have been part of it, but they put in more stronger standards that they're gonna do. And if we don't agree to it, then they're not gonna help us out with anything. And they're a huge help out here for us.
Well, it doesn't say they ain't gonna help, it says without the,
It does.
we will only be able to enforce Michigan state law referring to animal welfare.
Which pretty much means they won't do anything for us.
It'll be limited, but they can help us with, I think, is what you're saying too.
Because like this here, they're gonna talk about dog licensing, who does that?
The county is.
But we would like, who does that? Thank
Where do you go to get it?
For animal
It's
control.
up to the county.
See, to me, I don't, I just think that they should come out and kind of explain this.
Well, I think it's making an assumption that we already,
Yeah,
you said that we have something already in place, right? We already are following something.
We have theirs, but they put in a few more standards. And the way I understood it, is that it's gonna have to be adopted in and put into our ordinance. So those who get ordinance books out there are gonna have to recodify it in. When they recodify it, correct, Cindy, are you reading it that way?
It says the adopted standards must go into their animal ordinances, so.
Yeah.
that
Do
would-
we have something that's current, like, oh, if somebody came in and said, hey, where's our animal control, like, act? Do we have one? Do we have, like, something?
It's in our zoning ordinance, it's very vague. And then
But
they
is it
have,
from them?
it's ours and theirs, and they're just beefing theirs up a lot.
Did Steve look at this at all?
I don't know. Lori, did Steve look at this?
He did, and that's when he said to send it to Chris. No, sent it to Kathy, and then Kathy said send it to Chris. Kind of bounced, but I don't know if he really looked at it. Because
Yeah.
he's heard about it through other municipalities.
Lennox has adopted it, Clinton Township has adopted it, but they repealed all of their other animal existing ordinances. And they took this off as is.
So what are you saying?
Can't have community cats. No more farm cats.
That's what, I don't know, some of this stuff is like the livestock stuff and everything.
Well, why don't we just put this on the agenda for next month, and we'll give this to Steve over the next month to go over and
That's what I would recommend. It's kind of, it's an awful lot to look at for
It
this.
is.
Would you like somebody to come out
This
there?
is, I mean,
That'd be great if somebody could come out.
See if we can get them actually come up with something this time.
I didn't get this for a while. It went to Chris, and then
that's fine.
Make that a plan.
I think it'd be nice if they come out and just
Right.
explain, why have they changed this? Are they having trouble? And they needed to change this to kind of keep up with the problems they're having?
That's what it seemed to me when
Yeah.
something was written about that, especially about the cat thing, that's what I was reading.
I know whenever we needed them in the past,
Yeah.
about court course, they're
I'm
there.
not against them or anything, I just,
Yeah.
to me, it seems like an awful lot to ignore.
Yeah, there's a lot of
You're
it.
gonna get a hold of them, Chris?
Yeah, I'll be a little woman, asking this to come out to our next meeting and explain. Everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Perfect.
Table.
Okay, next item we have would be the approval of the 24-25 Richmond Township Board meeting dates. In the packet, our list of dates. How does everybody feel on the dates? We usually skip the summer meetings in July or August, and I'm not eager for July one way or the other. Let's see what the rest of the board feels.
Dates are fine.
Any preference on which meeting we skip this summer?
I won't be here in June. You won't be here in July?
Correct.
Doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter to me.
Let's make a motion that we skip the July 10th, 2024 meeting.
Okay.
Support.
All fair die?
Aye.
Thank you. Next item we have the approval of personnel policy amendment. We've got a change in there with just the sub note at the bottom there, employees may not be more than 2 weeks vacation time in a single period. It will be effective today if approved, just so we don't have people taking blocks of these at times. Probably should have went in there originally, and there's just something that comes. So,
Can you make your motion to approve this?
yes, we do need a motion to, would be in order then to approve section 24.0 vacations. The amendment just stated, effective March 13th, 2024.
Make a motion to approve this amendment, correct? That's what we're doing is amendment?
Support?
I'll support.
All fair side?
Aye.
All right, motion's carried, thank you. Next item we have would be the approval of the Stafford landscaping quote for grass mowing at Bates Cemetery. Yeah, it creeps up about $15 a year, it seems like, for cutting. It's about $95 per cutting, but
Did we include that when we were talking about our?
It's in the
budget. I did put it at $95, but then in the budget when we discussed that. We're just preparing for it. It's up about just under $15 per cutting. I think it was like 80.
They started in at 70 with us, then went to 80, now they're 90. So if they go to 100 next year, we'll have to get some competitive bids out there.
Well, we don't have any other bids, do we? But they're kind of, they're the same person,
Stuff,
same
leave
venues.
the stuff with them.
That's
And
good.
it's tough because no one wants to mow in a cemetery. I mean, it's a pain. It's a pain.
And that one's tiny though.
Yeah.
That one they could do it all over.
Yeah, I've never actually watched them do it. But it's interesting.
They just had several times.
Okay. So if everybody's had an opportunity to review that, I'm recommending then that we approve the attached contract for bi-weekly lawn services at the big cemetery by Stafford.
I make that motion.
Support? All fair side?
Aye.
So this will come back up again next January or February?
Yeah, probably another time January we can put
This
something
just
on.
takes care of the sum.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what this is. Okay, next item we would have would be items for next agenda.
Now we're going to have the ordinance for the animal control.
You know, hopefully we'll have animal control too. Let's keep GFL on there. So,
Yeah, GFL.
Bridge, probably good
We're going to
idea.
have to leave the bridge in there.
Take off the leave.
Yeah, think good enough. Anybody thinks of anything between now and then, if you feel free to let us know. If nothing else there, then call to the board. I did have one thing I want to bring up to the board, we're gonna have to keep an eye on. I got a call from the new panel of the Willow Grove Cemetery, which is at the flea market, and I made a review. They've had quite a few changes in the last year. The woman Janet Arnold that used to oversee the finances and help with the board, she passed away last year. And so they got some new guys in there. Younger guys, and they're going through their books, seeing what they have for funds, and they've got about 3 or so years of running that place for long maintenance. we just talked about that with our little cemetery. They're running out of plots in there to sell, and they've got enough money to, like I say, keep it up for a few more years. The one guy that digs the graves in there, Dan, he's also on the board. He owns a landscape company. He's been having his guys cut their costs. So just to help keep the cost down and keep it going longer. But the request was, if, because it resides in Richmond Township, they don't want to get to the point where they have to turn the whole thing over to the township. They would be asking if we would consider help funding some of the lawn maintenance for them in the future. Now, it sparked a couple questions. I know years ago, it used to be called the Township Cemetery. I think one of us were talking recently about the lines had been changed somewhere a long time ago, so we were trying to dig up some history on that. See if anything was ever changed or was ever annexed, or just to make sure it is in the Richmond Township Cemetery. I feel it is, but I'd like to see some kind of record that says that. I just want to bring that up to the board. Something we're going to be looking at. It's about 20 acres. Is what that is.
That's cemetery?
Good,
That cemetery.
They go
They go
back in the way.
There's a bridge over the river and it keeps going.
Where would it cross into Armada at?
No, it doesn't. It's all,
I was gonna say, it's all ours,
it
right?
is. It is. I'm just going back historically.
Legally, it would fall onto us.
It would be our
These people
responsibility.
could walk away, and
Yeah,
it would be.
and we'd have to, just like Bates.
And I think that means that they just, or not him, but the board for Wales Township Cemetery did the same thing. They just walked into the board and doing that, handed them everything. Left. We got no money in
So
for
they
years.
obviously must not be getting perpetual care for anyone. Correct?
They're running out of grave sites. They tried to buy Spencer's property from them. Spencer won't sell for them to expand the cemetery. They're
What's that one?
you know,
Yeah.
they're, they don't want to turn it over to us. They're trying to find a resolution. So I appreciate they're doing this a little bit in advance and say, hey, what can we do? So just keep that back in your mind. I don't know what the right thing or wrong thing to do here. But I told them I'd bring that concern to the board. Anything else for the board tonight? Hearing none, it'll be general public comment.
Good evening. I am Dave Chigash, 37520 Havel. A couple of months ago, I think maybe three, we attended a meeting and we brought one of our neighbors over. And she couldn't participate in the meeting because she said she couldn't hear what was going on. And I can understand with the echo we have in this room. She's hard to hear, and she was having trouble trying to hear what was going on. And I was wondering if there's anything that can be done, I don't know what, because I'm not an audio person, well, sound person, that would allow somebody hard of hearing to be able to hear the board, and hear the questions of the board if they were to ask her. I was just wondering if you guys could possibly take a look at that and see if there's anything that can be done.
Yeah, we know there. We can definitely look into something.
I was going to say what?
I'm used to that. So, thank you.
I wonder how it comes across on our video. Does it sound echoing when we?
Yeah.
Is
More
there
than
a
likely it
hearing
is.
back here?
You're still having difficulty hearing you all talk.
Really?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
more like mumbles.
Okay.
Like, I don't think the microphones are close enough.
Could be the microphones.
That could be.
Like yours looks like it's turned this way. So I think if you just move the microphones closer to your mouth.
So if I talk like this, is it better that I talk like that?
Yes.
And it's not muffly?
Okay.
So then maybe we do need to move them.
Okay. We'll need to be mindful of that.
Yeah.
Then we should just speak like this, because when I speak like this, I feel like it's extremely loud. Does it sound loud to you?
It's a
It
little.
sounds like we can hear it.
We can hear it now.
There are some adjustments, and I'm not a sound expert, but when we put the system in, or when the township put the system in, you guys hired a firm that came out and did some sound and quality checks here in the building. Over the years, I'm betting various fingers have got on some of those adjustments, and I might suggest that that firm be called back and see what can be done. Both of what we have now and then there's other options, but I felt like at one point we had a new computer, so maybe we just need some adjustments to your actual mics to correct it.
Okay. Are we okay with that plan? Contact her.
Yeah, why not? I can do that. And then if we're mindful of,
Bring it closer to us, it's gotta be closer to us like this.
yeah, good idea.
I'd also be curious to ask if they would recommend anything for really hard of hearing people, if there's any like.
Yeah.
That would tie into the system also, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
You might have it.
Nowadays, it probably is.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. Okay, so we'd be happy to look into that.
One thing that you might want to be cautious of is when you turn your head to talk to somebody else on the board, the mic's here, you turn your head, and then the sound goes away.
Okay. Okay, good to know. That's stuff we can't hear, so thanks for telling us.
Yeah, for sure.
I know, they almost should be pinned to us.
Yeah.
That would work better.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter. where
That way
we-
when our heads are turned, they're gonna.
Yeah.
It's gonna be right next to us.
We should have cord on it, so it might. Okay. Well, excellent, thank you so much. Any other general public comment?